Hello and welcome to all the ghouls and vampires out there. I'm Joe here from my co-host Dan.
Hello and greetings.
And we're back with more Scooby-Doo. And this will be the last video for about a week because we've done a lot of videos lately for Nightmare Reviews. 5-minute reviews was just an experiment, so that's going to become a thing, I guess, when we don't lack other content to put up. And of course, Solomon Kane we needed to get out. The Halloween video was simply catch up for the Halloween video and to get that podcast underway. Now we got to get this one moving along, as it's been too long since the last Scooby-Doo episode. Anyways, last time we got into how Captain Moonscar vandalized his own property, but now we have the revelation that it was his property, as the house was built from the ship called the Maelstrom, which was Captain Moonscar's ship. And of course, the culprit for most guilty of vandalizing this house is Velma.
How dare she?
Jinkies. She got carried away. Or so she says, which, yeah. This is after Shaggy and Scooby packed up a lot of the food in the kitchen to go, even though it's not their place. Figures. You know, like, I don't know what's worse. Her vandalism or their thievery.
But Shaggy and Scooby, their brains are in their stomachs.
Very true. Very true. Lenoir ends up complaining, can you explain why you've destroyed half my kitchen? When, no, it's not even half. I'd say probably 1/10 of your kitchen, lady. Get it right. It's a big kitchen. Don't you compare it to the kitchens of us peasants. I'm just saying. Although I do wonder who built the house, because there's no way Lena and Simon built it themselves. They don't seem the type to put their backs to use like that. They must have commissioned it. They must have murdered the construction crew.
That's what I was thinking.
It seems like them.
I mean, Lena can be pretty convincing. What with her beauty when she's a human?
Yeah. But it also speaks to the archetype that she is, the temptress. And the thing about femme fatales / temptresses is that they're also black widows. People tend to end up dead when they come along and seduce men. And this is just simply something you can observe, not just in Lena, but in archetypal characters such as, Catwoman, Nisa Rao, or Al Ghul, both from DC Comics. You have... I have a few characters I could point out about Marvel Comics, but... Well, I guess I could say Black Widow.
Elektra.
Yeah, both of them are villainesses. I mean, Black Widow knew about the Winter Soldier program and never uttered a peep, so, she could have helped Bucky Barnes out in the comics at one point, but, you need the occasional human weapon to murder your enemies with and to cover up your own crimes. There's Elektra, whom... At the start, she was supposed to be an anti-heroine, but she morphed into a villainess who actually works for the man who murdered her father. So, these are femme fatale characters. There's Milady from Les Trois Mousquetaires, who, she's almost a more tragic one in some ways. But there's plenty of others, such as the female lead of The Strange Woman, 1941 novel, and I think 1944 film. That character's a serious Black Widow type. She ends up causing the death of a few men along the way. But anyways, that's basically the type of archetypal character Lena is. As to Velma, her discovery is that this ship belonged to, this house / ship belonged to Captain Moonscar, and that it's his ghost that they saw. So we have right there a connection between the house and Moonscar, and we have the point of origin for the house and whatnot in the lore slash the ship. So we have the point of origin. So Velma's traced it back to him. Now, what the crew are going to think, the Mystery Inc. crew, is that someone's trying to pretend to be Captain Moonscar and his crew or something in order to steal pirate gold or something, trying to dig it up, because Moonscar did have quite the treasure. What they don't realize is that Lenoir was very clever with the treasure, as this was put to use for Lena and Simon in order to build their house, start their plantation, and otherwise remain fairly wealthy and aloof from the world. So that they use the wealth of others for their, well, so that they don't ever have to work a proper job. They're rather like Bill Gates that way. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I shouldn't go there, but I had to. Now, the first one to say, aha, this must be it, is Freddy. Now, the trouble is, it's very clear that Lenoir is leading him into this idea. And because she's the one who establishes, well, it's said that there was a great treasure and it was never found. In reality, as we said, she had used the treasure. Technically, she invested it, so she was very smart about it. But the thing is, after leading Freddy by the nose into this, Lena, and Daphne look at him like he's stupid, even though, you know, the whole someone disguised as a ghost captain because he wants the treasure is fairly common for Scooby-Doo. And
so they're using his experiences.
But here's the thing, the three ladies look at him like he's stupid. When, let's be honest, if this was a regular episode of Scooby-Doo, Daphne would not have figured it out that so quickly. The thing is, let's be honest, Freddy and Velma are the smartest members on the team. And Daphne is about average IQ, same as Shaggy, although Shaggy can be a little slower at times. So, yeah, like, really this is Daphne being foolish and just obsessed with wanting there to be actual supernatural stuff. The trouble is, her obsession reminds me of what Christopher Lee once said. If you obsess about the occult, you will lose your mind and your soul. No matter what. And that's what's happening to Daphne, arguably. She's obsessing about the occult so that she's losing her soul in a way. And I know people would say that's an over-exaggeration, but actually not really. She's becoming obsessed with the occult so that the most rational explanation offends her when it ought not to. As to Lena and Simon, they're obviously just playing a role. The thing is, though, Freddy has no way of knowing that there's actual supernatural stuff.
And the pirate costume, trying to find a pirate treasure, I think there's literally an episode that covers that.
Yeah, basically this is a same old for Freddy. But sadly, he's not in a regular episode of Scooby-Doo. So we shouldn't think too poorly of him. His logic is pretty sound, all things considered. It's just he's dealing with supernatural. This is a case where Daphne is right, but this doesn't mean that we should give her praise. Because, to an extent, in her quest for, I'm going to say this, and this might sound weird, but evil, she has led her friends, potentially, into harm's way. All for her selfish greed and selfishness.
It is important for ghost hunters to have this cynical side to try and explain things scientifically.
But the trouble is, Daphne is trying to find the most wicked of ghosts and lead her friends to it, which could potentially cost them their lives and souls. And she does it very uncaringly. Now, this is not to say that Daphne's a horrible person. What we see in this film is Daphne go through an arc where she does this. She treats her friends like garbage so that by the end, she atones for it and redeems herself and realizes that she was taking them for granted, that the real treasure was her friends and her family. And that's important for Daphne to have that arc. And the thing is, Daphne is a great character, and I think that such an arc is something we ought to treasure as Scooby-Doo fans, because a character arc like that is not terribly common in the original Hanna-Barbera cartoon, as it was a fairly episodic series. It was fun, but it was episodic. So to have an entire arc over the course of a film is important and is a good thing, because this turns the episodic stuff into an ongoing plot across several series, rather than just keeping it at, like, so basically those short story type episodes all become part of an overall continuity. So this temporary fall of sorts for Daphne gives her an overall arc for starting from the beginning all the way to here. And Freddy doing the aha thing links him back to the beginning and connects that to here. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video and look forward to our next Scooby-Doo episode, which will hopefully be sooner than a month-long hiatus, don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button, as we're trying to push forward once again, trying to get to 100 subs, because it'd be great if we can get that to that benchmark or that stretch goal, and from there we'll then aim for 200 subs. So we need your help with that. Also share the video if you can, as that would also greatly help.